What's up? It is the Dynasty Lunch Hour here on the Dynasty Pylon. Just coming in you at your lunch hours. Either you're going to watch this later and watch our predictions, or you're at lunch right now watching us, or you're probably watching us and you shouldn't be. So, regardless of the fact, it is the Dynasty Lunch Hour and we're coming at you during lunchtime. So, today we have uh, Carolina versus Houston. And what's up,
Oh
Marvin?
snap!
Hey. uh, so yeah, well, I mean, we have Carolina. We talked about it about a little bit yesterday. Carolina versus Houston. The fantasy footballers had said that General Mills, which is Davis Mills, is starting today due to injury that Tyrod Taylor is undergoing his hamstring, which we talked about yesterday. And if you haven't heard about it, it's basically it's been all over the news that Mills was going to be the guy. So, uh, yo, what you eating? Chili for lunch? So yeah, man. In recent news, I guess today, I guess a couple of guys have been sitting out for practice. Some guys are going to come back in. I know Lamar Jackson. They were kind of resting him in today for practice. Josh Jacobs is potentially may or may not play this week. I don't think he will. It doesn't seem like it. It looks like
They
Kenyon
didn't play
Drake might
last
be
week
the guy.
either.
Yeah, so I don't know, but he said that he is practicing today in a non-contact jersey. So that the red one, the QB
Mm.
one, that's the one he was wearing today. So there could be a chance that he plays this week. But well, when a guy wears a contact jersey, it's very unlikely, and there could be a chance where he just has a limit of snaps.
Yeah.
So for those Jacob owners, and then Galladay is resuming practice as well, and so it was OBJ. OBJ might actually be a game time decision, so if you have him, look out for that last minute real quick, and then maybe you could put him in if you want. It is against the Bears, right? Bears in
Yes.
so um, if he does play, I would throw him in. Would you agree, or would you? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they
I would
only
say if
have
he
Jalen
plays, throw him
Johnson
in.
as a DB,
Because
really.
Landry's out. Wait, what?
No, I'm saying like the Bears only have
Oh, Bears.
Jalen
Sorry.
Johnson, who's like probably the only
Yeah.
good DB there. So I think OBJ should be good. What do you? So here's Marvin. What do you think about uh, the Browns receivers without OBJ playing? I think they'll be fine. I mean, have you not? If you look, it seems like they're using all their tight ends. All three of them are being ran. So he's gonna have weapons. And then Demetric Felton, who is one of my rookies that I kind of like coming out of college. He is receiver slash running back. Now I can't remember if it was receiver turned running back or running back turned receiver, but regardless of the fact, he
Yeah,
plays both.
he is the opposite of Gibson. So he was a
Yeah,
running
Gibson.
back turned receiver.
Right. So Demetric Felton will throw in Donovan Peoples Jones will definitely be a factor. Rashad Higgins will be a factor. Is he still Rashad Higgins? Yeah, he'll be. He's not one of the hurt ones, is he? I
No.
don't think so. I mean, look, OBJ will have weapons. He's got all three of his tight ends are pretty good, and he's got Demetric Felton, who's I think he's very underrated. A lot of people didn't even know about him until like last week. Um, if they play him in the slot, it's going to be nasty. I agree for sure. I mean, Donovan People Jones is a big key component to this week. I think even Felton. So Felton might be that sneaky play. So other than that, Evan Ingram from the Giants is actually I think playing or injured right now. He's practicing again. I either way, regardless, I still wouldn't even put him in anyways, just because like that. And other than that, Amari Cooper is limited for practice today, so he might actually play. But other than that, uh, for the most part, all the big namers, that's pretty much who we have. We just keep an eye on it. Really, just keep an eye, see if they pull up on the injury report Saturday night, Sunday morning. Just keep an eye out for that. So, um, Is there anything that you want to talk about today? Any specific games? Because I'm kind of going to run down the games, and I kind of want to ask you if you would play certain players from certain teams.
Okay.
Is there anything you want
But to
to
go
get off
back
your
to
chest
his,
now?
but to go off of Marvin's question, I think if OBJ plays, it'll help the other receivers more than more so with him not being there.
Right, because the more of the focus will be on him.
He'll draw the attention, and the other guys will be open, especially with Landry being on IR and being out.
Right. I I I kind of want to see. In a way, I kind of want to put Justin Fields in, but I know it's a very, very risky, like, because we don't know yet, like, but how cool would you be if you be that guy to put him in and he just goes off?
Right. You're like, aha, I had him in.
Right. Cleveland's defense, like, there's been a couple defense out there that haven't been showing up from what we know they should be. Washington's defense, Cleveland's defense, like, these defense should be elite, but guys are scoring on them. So I'm really hoping that Cleveland kind of like gets out of their rut. Washington gets out of their rut. Cardinals are playing the way we predicted they were going to play. They have a good defense. Carolina, you and I kind of said that they might potentially be really good. But I mean, I think that overall, Carolina is going to be a good defense to play tonight against Houston, because it's a brand new, like, rookie QB. It's his first start. So what was this? Over under 50 yards rush for Justin. I'm gonna say over.
I'm gonna say over.
Nah, that might be too high. I don't know. See, that's
I was
the crazy
thinking under.
thing. It is the Browns. You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna say under. I think the front line there at Cleveland's pretty good with Clowney and freaking Garrett. Yeah, so I'm gonna say under. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. I need Garrett to get me 2 sacks this week. That's what I need. Give me 2 sacks, I'll be all right.
2 20-yard sacks. Not asking too much.
Well, 2 20-yarders, yeah. No, if Garrett gets me like 2 sacks this week, I'll be great. That'll be phenomenal. That's gonna be like 12 points just on the sacks alone, and not including the yards. So that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah. So other than that, I think Justin's gonna have a good day. I would definitely see how A-Rob is gonna be with him in actual game time situation. I'm excited for that to see. Okay, so besides that, we have tonight's game. The other game that I want to talk about, Saints and New England. Anybody you're starting from there? Real quick. Anybody?
Saints and New England. Defensive side for the Saints, maybe.
Turner, Peyton Turner. I'd probably put Peyton Turner in, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
If you don't have the DL spots, I'd put Peyton Turner in until Davenport kind of comes back. Once Davenport comes back, and it's kind of, it might be over for him. I don't know. They might rotate him in. Would you trust Jameis Winston in this week for that?
No, unfortunately.
No? What about Mac Jones on the other side?
No.
Yeah, neither way. I think that's going to be.
He hasn't been putting up spectacular numbers, so.
No. I mean, it's
Jameis had the first week, but now he's got to go against Bill Belichick.
Right. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be really tight on that one. So other than that, it's going to be a cloudy game. So, and that's pretty much the first opening game of Sunday.
Would you do Cam Jordan?
What's up?
Cam Jordan.
Yeah, Cam Jordan might actually get Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't the fastest guy, so I would think that he's actually pretty good to get sacks on. Justin Fields might have a great game, dude. Is from Ohio State. Yeah. Maybe. You know what? And that's funny, Housewife, that you bring that up. Do you think that a lot of the Ohio State students go over to Cleveland just to watch their boy play?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think we see some Ohio State jerseys
right
in there? That's interesting that you bring that up. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. So good point. Good point there. Yeah. I like that. But So other than that, the New England Saints games, I think I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I Other than Kamara, I don't think I would start anybody on the other side. Maybe Josh Uche, the defensive lineman that we brought up as a sleeper this on the waiver wire. If you watched yesterday, or I'm sorry,
Oh yeah,
Tuesday,
for New England.
Josh Uche, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he might actually rack up some points there. Other than that, not really excited about anybody except for Kamara, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, Kamara. Can't
Yeah,
believe I
so
forgot
sorry.
about him.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was like, no offensive players. Oh wait,
yo,
Kamara.
Kamara's for sure a must start there. So all right, so next game, Indy and Tennessee. Obviously Wentz is gone. Do you trust Michael Pittman in your lineup?
No.
Okay. So other words, Eason kind of sucks. That's
Well,
what we're
I mean,
saying
he
here.
did not do great in relief last week, so
Well, how much time did he actually play though?
enough to throw some interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy is that how terrible that defense is. I'm really shocked. I really thought Tennessee would be a little bit better, but no, man, they everyone's just scoring on them unless your name is Jacob Eason. But there is little rumors that Wentz might potentially come back a lot sooner than expected. I hope so because Michael Pittman owners are going to be excited. Finally, they had that breakout that they waited for last year.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Didn't
Sleeper
happen.
still has points on Wentz, so
Yeah.
he's
Like I
not
said,
ruled
there
out
might
yet.
not
That'd be crazy
officially.
though.
They
Two
would.
sprained ankles coming back and playing. That'd be
Well,
nuts.
hey, he ran out of ankles to sprain, so that's he
Hundley.
lost them both. Hundley might be starting. Yeah, that's true. He was getting a first round reps in during practice. So Brett Hundley.
I was like, Brett Hundley?
I
He's in
Yeah,
India?
yep. I remember talking to Braden about that, and
Good lord. That guy's
check
everywhere.
out his Instagram, dude. Brett Hundley has been around the world. That guy
Yeah.
has some amazing pictures. I'm telling you, Brett Hundley is an interesting guy to watch. Like just look at his profile. He's been everywhere, man. He is definitely traveling the world on his off season. So we don't know. I still wouldn't trust Michael Pittman in, but we actually saw finally the talent that he has. So he actually gave himself a little bit of worth. So for dynasty owners, that's a good thing. Don't cut him or anything. Definitely stash him or potentially trade him. But I would wait a little bit longer, have a little bit more value on him. What about Tennessee? I think that Julio and AJ. How about them? Tannehill, you starting all
Yeah,
them?
it seems like he's finally getting a rapport with Julio after last week's game.
Yeah, we were talking about it
AJ's
yesterday. How
still on the
that
fence for
touchdown.
me with all his
Yeah.
balls being dropped, but
Did you see the video that I was talking about yesterday? How his heel hit the back end of the end zone and then they ruled it
yeah,
out. And then we're talking about had it been a slide, if he slid his toes out of the line, they would have
yeah,
counted. But because he
put his
rolled
heel down.
yeah, they ruled it out of bounds, which is really
Still
odd,
weird, but
I don't know either. So,
but I think
but
Julio is a start. Henry obviously plug and
yeah,
play.
AJ, would you start him, or are you a little worried about
But,
his drops?
I'm still hesitant on starting AJ.
Okay, all right, so hesitant on it. He hasn't really
I
done
mean, it
much
depends
either.
on who else you have, I guess, too. But I mean, if you have at least one other receiver, play him over AJ.
Right, and the DBs there in Indy are pretty solid. So yeah, hopefully Darius Leonard actually racks up some runs now that we have a full blown run offense. Maybe he gets some tackles in. I know you've been struggling there, kind of upset. So now that Henry's in town, maybe you get a couple more tackles in your lineup there. So
Yeah.
other than that, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, who you kind of starting there, like right off the bat?
Najee Harris.
Okay.
And then,
Najee Harris.
I mean, obviously TJ if he plays.
What about any of the receivers of Steelers?
Maybe Juju.
Really? Okay.
He's been actually fairly consistent. I mean, minus the fact that week one he didn't get a touchdown, he still had a lot of yards and catches.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a touchdown last week.
Okay. See, that's where I'm gonna disagree. I would not even play him at all. That's just
No,
how I feel.
none of
Yeah,
them.
no, not for me. No. I feel like Big Ben is on a decline. Uh, and then he just keeps getting banged up. And then I think last week or something he was playing injured or something like that, or he's been getting injured, or he got injured.
Yeah, but he does that
I
every
just
year. So
well, yeah, I just yeah, I feel like I'm just hesitant on it. I mean, I would put someone in like definitely like Mike Williams in over him, over Claypool or Juju or
oh yeah,
Duke
definitely
Johnson.
Mike Williams for sure.
Like Mike Williams is
Which I should have done
like a lot
last
of
week and I didn't.
a, a lot of people aren't really like putting him in their lineups, which I don't know why. If the first week and second week isn't good enough, if you're gonna bench him again, that's on you, guy. But so other news, Dalvin Cook is not practicing today, but I wouldn't be worried about that. I just got that right now. So Bengals, Luke Wilson or Logan Wilson, linebacker, definitely put him in. Definitely put in uh, Jamar Chase, Higgins. Uh, are you starting Joey B?
No.
No. Okay. What about Joe Mixon?
Yes, let's start Joe Mixon.
Okay. Just because of the usage,
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get a lot done like the last 2 weeks, but I think he'll get
I think
something.
he'll still get 10 plus points.
Right. I think the Steelers D will definitely shut down Joey B, but I would still put the receivers in. But yeah, I agree with you there. So what about Washington and Buffalo Bills?
Oh, it's a rough one. Everything in my body says start Gibson, but part of me is like, maybe you shouldn't.
He might break away for like a good 40 year, like a good 40, 50
Uh,
yarder. I don't know.
uh,
And I'm a little hesitant on the whole JD McKissick thing as well.
oh, yeah.
Um,
I'd probably still wait a week or two, see exactly. Because, I mean, we only had one real week with Taylor Heineke to see how this offense is going to look. So
mm-hmm.
before I start jumping the gun on like backup running backs and stuff, I'd wait a couple weeks and see what we got.
But you did, hold on. But you originally drafted Gibson in your second round. So you're saying you're benching your second rounder, right?
Hmm?
Is that what you're saying?
No,
For
not
me, I'm going
second
to put
round,
him
the
in.
second string.
No. Yeah, no. But Gibson, overall,
Oh,
majority of
Gibson.
people have drafted him in their second round.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
think
just saying.
Gibson still he's one of those guys where like I said, he drafted high. He's like one or two running backs for people probably just play him.
I mean, for me, I'm still putting him in. McKissick, I'm hesitant on it. I might put him in yet. So yeah, I was gonna get to that. So
I know.
do you bump up D lineman for any team playing Bengals O line? Um, yeah,
So like
yes, you
Khalil
do
Mack,
for sure.
Hicks.
If you find yourself at a D lineman spot and you're playing a really crappy D line, you throw everyone in there. Last year it was the Eagles. If you had any defensive players against the Eagles, linebackers or DLs, you would put them in there. And then sometimes if it's a rookie QB or a scrambling QB or someone who's a run heavy, you would put them in. So, for instance, originally I was gonna bench Micah Parsons this week, but news today said that they're putting him back in his original spot at linebacker. So now I'm back into oh crap, who do I put in my linebacker spot? So yeah, now that yeah, so now I'm a little debating the fact that Jalen Hurts likes to run. They do a lot of screen passes with Miles Sanders and freaking what's the new kid in town, Gainwell. So uh, could he be good? Yeah. So for sure, yes, you do. You bump him up for that because the O line, if they have a crap O line, these D linemen go in there like a hot knife through butter, and they get a sack or get a tackle for loss. And if you have the yardage on that, it definitely gives you more help. So that's for sure. That is a hard yes to that question right there, Marvin. So back to what we were saying. We were on Washington and Buffalo, right?
Yes.
Yes to Josh Allen. Yes to
Yes.
Diggs.
Yes.
Do you go Cole Beasley or Gabriel Davis or Knox, tight end? Do you start any of those three guys?
Maybe Knox.
Okay. Just because they suck at covering a tight end for some reason.
Well, it just seems like the first two games we've had problems covering like over the middle, whether it be the slot guy or the tight end.
Okay.
Because I mean, Daniel Jones was hitting, was it 87, like the backup tight end?
Well, they can't cover a tight end or the QB for crap. I mean, Daniel Jones broke off. So,
well, I know that, but I'm
Josh,
just saying his security blanket was either running or throwing it over the middle to 87.
Right.
Now, he didn't get touchdowns, but I mean, rack up the yards if you have a PPR league.
So Knox could potentially be a good look at, maybe swing him in there against Washington defense. It's kind of sad because Washington defense, we thought they were going to be super good, really well. But I think they're just like I think they just need to wake up because it's I don't know what's going on.
I was reading something and they were saying that they got a few new people and they just haven't gelled yet like they did. Because I mean, even if you look at last year, it wasn't until we started the year 2-6 for the first 8 games. So it wasn't until the second half where we gelled and suddenly things were clicking. And so they were just saying, don't overreact yet, give it some time. But I mean,
so get the engines warmed up a little bit.
Yeah, I was okay with the 20 points on the Chargers because I was like, they have a really high-powered offense. And we only gave up 20 points. But then when you give up 29 points to the Giants, that is not a good look. It really isn't.
And single-handedly by Daniel Jones, too.
Yeah, pretty much. That's when you're like, Daniel Jones is done. He's like, no, man, look what I did against Washington. I got this.
All right, so Washington, Tyler Heineke, you put him in? Do you trust him to put in there maybe? For me, it's still a no.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the no because that defense is not the Giants' defense.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good. I'm going to wait on that. Tyler Heineke, definitely McLaurin after he proved us wrong last week. So definitely McLaurin. Any other receiver, Logan Thomas, are you going to put him in? You trust him in there? Maybe.
I think he's a starter. I would play him. I mean, depending on who your tight ends are. I mean, obviously you have Kelsey. Don't play Logan Thomas over Kelsey.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you got Logan Thomas and Kelsey, lucky you, man. But I definitely would consider him as a starter as well.
I would too.
All right, so next game we got Falcons and New York Giants. I'm not starting anybody in the Falcons except for maybe Ridley. I'm also kind of fading Pitts. I still need to see a little bit more out of Pitts. I thought they would utilize him more. They're giving him targets. Hayden Hurst is kind of like involved as well, which I said this in the offseason. I think they use Pitts as a receiver, a replacement of Jones. But I'm not putting anybody in except for Ridley, maybe.
I don't know. I'm the opposite.
You're putting Pitts in or what?
Well, I mean, look at what the Washington football team did against this Giants defense. You guys just put up 25 points on the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, but that's also Washington though. Now you're talking about the Falcons, and maybe I'm just like more.
I think the Falcons have a better offense than Washington does.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too hard
on
the Falcons.
A better number one receiver with Calvin Ridley, not by much. I mean, Scary Terry's up there. Don't get me wrong, but I still think Calvin Ridley. And he's got the same quarterback since his entire career, so I think that's a bit of an advantage. I think the tight ends are better. I think running backs are probably better.
Who are you putting in there?
I would put Calvin Ridley. I would play Matt Ryan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Bold.
I'm calling it right now. This is the day Pitts breaks out.
This is where
2 touchdowns Pitts this week. It's happening. Calling it.
Really?
Prediction.
That is bold. I would say 1-1. 1 to Pitts, 1 to Ridley. Cordell Patterson, relevancy at all, probably?
I think so. I think he'll have the punt return yards. He'll have a decent mix of running and receiving. Maybe it's another touchdown.
Yards, and kick return yards. Definitely put him in for sure. Giants, are we putting anybody in? Saquon,
Mm.
Daniel
Is he on a
Jones.
is he on a count still?
I think this is the week they unleash him.
If
I
he's
really do.
unleashed, I would start Saquon.
I would
He
put
looked
Saquon. I would trust Saquon. I
he
would
looked
put
pretty good
Daniel
last
Jones.
week. And I almost think Daniel Jones, and that's a weird thing to say, but yeah, Daniel Jones was on my list too. Of how he did last week. I'm like, he's probably maybe if he follows it up, maybe this is his year. Now the Giants are like, decision time.
Yeah, it is. It really is. If he doesn't do anything good this year, that I have a feeling they're going to draft somebody. So I would put Daniel Jones, definitely Blake Martinez, Jabril Peppers, Bradbury.
Defensive guys. Yeah.
Defense on the Falcons, Deion Jones, and AJ Terrell's hurt. So yeah, it's pretty much it, man. So all right, moving on. Chargers versus Kansas City. Who are we putting in that you trust right off the bat?
Well, I mean, if we're going Kansas City, Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey.
Yeah, that's automatic. Yep. So besides the big three there, anybody
Most
else?
people are probably playing Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. What's crazy? I'm kind of fading Edwards-Helaire a little bit right now. I think
I am too, but
I hope they use him more. I'm fading him, but I don't think that he's not like a complete bench just yet. But I have thought about it, and I think I have him in at least one of my leagues. I've thought about it, and especially against the Chargers defense. They're real. The defense in that in Chargers, they got Joey Bosa's making a big time plays, or at least he's putting pressure on the QBs. And then the DBs there, everyone's healthy. The linebackers there with Wyatt and Murphy, they're just doing their thing. Or Murray, sorry, my apologies. But yeah, no, they're doing their thing. So definitely a dangerous defense to be dealt with. Honestly, I think they give KC a run for their money, and it's going to be a close game. And I hope that KC loses again. That's just me. I honestly am going to probably be watching this game a little bit, and I kind of hope that Chargers pull a win off of them. That'd be really cool to see.
If Kansas City loses, I believe it'll be the first time that Mahomes has a losing record.
0-2?
Well, they'll be 1-2
back to back.
Well, he'll have a losing record during the season.
Oh, during the season 1-2, yeah, maybe. Actually, yeah, no, yeah, you're right. That's crazy. Now that you bring that up, yeah.
Almost as crazy as Tom Brady. How long has he been in the league?
20 years, I think.
He's never played a regular.
2001.
Yeah, so he's never played a regular season game where his team was eliminated from the playoffs. Not once.
It's Tom Brady, man. He's the GOAT.
Nuts. Dude. I was like, what the heck?
He's the GOAT, dude. So yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to I would flex maybe one of the other receivers. I feel like Mahomes just throws it around. Besides Hill and Kelsey, I feel like the other three receivers just kind of get rotated. It might be Pringle, it might be Hardman, it might be Robinson. I feel like those three are hit or miss. But when they do hit, oh man, they hit. So it's kind of hard to judge. It could be considered a flex if you have them. But I mean, it is against the Chargers, so be worried about that. We're putting Eckler in. We're putting obviously Herbert. Are you putting Herbert in? Maybe
I would put Herbert in definitely.
I don't think I don't think KC's defense is very that.
Unfortunately, they're not that good.
So yeah. So definitely putting Williams in for sure. Mike Williams is definitely must start.
Keenan Allen,
yeah, for sure. I might have a feeling that it's going to be Keenan Allen's week. Most of the focus have been on Mike Williams this entire time. I think that they veer off to Keenan Allen maybe this week. Who knows? I think.
Well, no, Keenan Allen's like averaging over 10 receptions and like over 100 yards a game. He's just not getting the touchdowns.
Right. Well, that's what
Mike Williams is getting
when they get to their end zone. I mean, so.
But Mike Williams is also like 6'5", so 6'4".
Yeah, he's a big dude.
So he's a much better more reliable, not reliable, but a more easier
bigger
to get
target
to
in the red zone
guy. Yeah. If you could just lob it up, and if the guy's who's guarding him's 5'10", I mean, oh, got it.
Yeah. So, all right. So Baltimore versus Detroit. We're putting all Baltimore in.
Yes.
If you got them, play them. Detroit Swift. Are you trusting Quintus Cephas or Amon-Ra St. Brown? Obviously, T.J. Hawkinson, right?
TJ Hawkinson for sure.
But what about those other two? Quintus Cephas or Amon St. Brown? Are you putting them in?
I haven't seen anything from them yet.
So that's a no.
And the Baltimore, I mean, they have injuries, but their defense is not a pushover still. So I'm going to say no. Yeah, no.
All right. So that's a
You
no.
know Amon St. Brown has a brother that plays for the Packers? I did not know
that. Yeah. He's also a receiver.
Yeah, St. Brown. I was like,
yeah, also a receiver. Yeah. St. Brown from the Packers, I played last year as a rookie, I think, or as a sophomore, and then Amon-Ra came in this year. So, yeah. So Hawkinson, you're in. Swift in. Golf, not so much, and that's about it. Are you putting Mike Williams in? Not Mike Williams. Well, yeah. Damn it, Williams. Yeah.
Who?
Running back. Williams. Running back.
Jamal Williams?
Yeah, I don't know why I said Mike. I don't know.
I was like, wait, are we going back to the Chargers?
Yeah, no. You know what I meant. Williams, are you throwing him in?
I don't know.
After last week's performance, I don't know. The first week I was very comfortable with it, and then the second
I was too. And then last week he was basically,
which is crazy.
And I thought he might. Yeah, I thought he was going to go off because it was his former team.
Yeah.
I thought he had a little incentive to be better, and then I was like, oh no.
And then with the groin injury with Swift, I'm like, oh, this is definitely going to be Williams' game, and I guess not. So
even with the groin injury, I thought Swift was out there the whole time.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant.
Don't ball pass to Swift. Don't ball pass to Swift.
All right, so happening? Let's go to Chicago and Cleveland. What are we doing there?
Good questions. Let's start with defense since we're IDP.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Go with Khalil Mack.
Okay, Khalil Mack, AK.
Yeah. Obviously, Raheem. Not Raheem. The heck, guy who just went off.
Deal. Quentin.
No, the guy who just went off last week. Their middle linebacker.
Roquan Smith.
Roquan. That's it. I said Raheem in it.
No, yeah, Roquan. Roquan's a must start. That's like a set and play. You don't even touch. You just leave him in. Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack. I think maybe considering that's pretty much it.
Not the corner that you were talking about.
Jalen Johnson. He's a stash. I think he's a good stash. I said he was a stash. I don't think he's a start yet. Well, maybe this week the fact that they don't have Landry, if OBJ's not playing, yes, but if he's playing, then no, because then there's less talent, which giving Jalen Johnson the up hand over the receivers, and then the tight ends are going to be covered, and either they're slow and he can cover them, or the linebackers are going to get him.
Makes sense.
I would tilt yes if OBJ is not in. If OBJ is in, I would stash him. So that's how I put Jalen Johnson. But on that, so
Bears offense, we said no Fields.
If you're hurting, I see that's the thing. I'm playing with it, and I think I would like to put him in, but I'm hesitant. I'm scared to put him in. It's kind of like Jamal Williams. Like I want to put him in. I think if he hits and he can have a really high ceiling, but dude, if your quarterback went down, if you had Wentz as your starter, which I mean you really drafted late, but if Wentz was your 1 and Fields was your 2, then yeah. I think you kind of have to, but I kind of like if he goes off and you put him in, how cool would you look? That's the only issue. He also has a rushing upside to him. I don't know. I don't trust it. I'm gonna slightly lean No.
Yeah,
On
I'm
Justin
leaning to the
Fields.
no.
But
Montgomery.
not by much. Not by much. So it would
Montgomery.
depend
Yeah.
on my lineups. So we're putting running backs and receivers in for all Chicago. I think they'll do good with Fields in there rather than Dalton. So for sure, put him in. Or are you hesitant on any of those guys? Tight
No.
ends, receivers. I'm putting them all in.
You're
I
putting
think
them all in?
Cole, yeah, if you have any of them, I would say. I mean, depending on who you have on your
Well, I
roster
mean,
as
I would
well.
definitely start Montgomery.
Yes. Cole
Robinson.
Kmet. What about Cole Kmet?
I do like Cole Kmet.
I would consider putting him in. Again, depending on who you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't start him over, I don't know, Kelsey, obviously, or those guys. Comparison, let's see. Would you put in Knox or Cole Kmet?
I put in Knox.
You'd put Knox in Washington over Kmet? Okay. Just
He has,
an example.
he has Josh Allen throwing to him. I mean, no offense to Fields, but we just haven't seen that much yet.
Right. All right. So Kmet or I'm trying to think of who's in Minnesota right now. I'm just having a brain fart right now. Minnesota tight end. Irv Smith?
No, he's out for the year. Surgery.
Yeah, I can't even think of who's in Vikings right now. I'm just trying to compare to who I would put him in, maybe start him over. But I mean, I would probably consider Cole Kmet. But anyways, moving on. We got Arizona or in Jacksonville. Who you got in?
Start all the Cardinals.
Jesus.
Start them all. Offense and defense.
Easy enough. Defenses as well. Offense, dude. Rondale Moore is definitely making a name for himself on his rookie year.
Yeah, had a really
he
good game
shouldn't be in
last
the
week.
waivers. He shouldn't be out there. He should be picked up. Would you agree, or would you kind of?
Oh, I agree. He should be on the team.
Yeah, I think he should be definitely everyone's receiver 3, receiver 4.
I still don't understand how Braden knew. How did Braden know he was going to go off in that game?
Yeah.
He had him starting.
Lucky him.
It didn't help. He still lost, unfortunately.
But he kind of knew, threw him in. I mean, it helped him. So, but yeah, Rondale Moore. Okay, who would you put over, Rondale Moore or Christian Kirk right now?
That is a tough one. I'll go Moore.
Moore? Okay. All right. I mean, I could look up. So if we're gonna go with Moore, let's see if I can pull up the snap counts on that. Oop, wrong ones. Let's see. So if we're gonna talk about Moore and Christian Kirk.
Well, Christian Kirk just has a habit of like showing up big and then disappearing.
Right. And
like he's done it all 4 years. Yeah, all 4 years.
No, I agree with you.
This is Moore's rookie year, so I'm gonna go with the assumption that he's gonna try to give it his all, like every week. I mean, not that Christian Kirk doesn't give it his all, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna go till I see anything to, say otherwise. I'm gonna go with Moore just consistently getting better.
Okay. So what's crazy is Rondale Moore seems to be more productive. Yes, Christian Kirk did have 2 very good, nice, interesting plays that made highlights. But according to this, the Christian Kirk is in 62%. Rondale Moore is in for 46%.
Wow.
Kind of crazy. But I would still put either one in. And then what's crazy? AJ Green is in there 84%. And
what the? Yeah. That's because he's got name value.
They're putting him in there. He played,
especially when you got those people who don't follow football as closely as we do, and they're just like, "Oh, I remember this guy. He was like the best receiver 10 years ago. I'm going to draft him."
Shout out to Jesse. And I know he's not watching at all, probably. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, actually, so AJ Green played 51 snaps last week, and then the week before that was 55 snaps, and that was 80% and 84%. So there, he's out there majority of the time. So I thought that was kind of crazy too. So all right, so all of Arizona is what we're saying. Every single one, even Chase Edmonds, you including him? Yeah, why
No, he's
not?
probably the one. Yeah, I'd say do it. Yeah, he's going to be
Okay.
the number one guy. I'm sure he'll, especially if they get up big
Hmm.
early, they'll probably, you know, pound the ball more.
On
So
both
I
sides
would,
of the ball. All right. So what about Jacksonville? Who are you throwing in? IDP, offense, any of those guys?
um,
I would
who's a
say, in my opinion, Marvin Jones. That's
Marvin Jones?
maybe DJ
Yeah,
Chark, and that's pretty much. I
yeah.
don't know if I trust, you know, the Sunshine in there. I don't know. T Law is great. I just think that his year is not this year. I think it'll be next year when they refocus that line a little, maybe a different style of coaching. I know a lot of people are hard on Urban Meyer this year. A lot of people want him out already, and that's just because we've seen it. College coaches come in and then they leave. So yeah, so we're not starting anybody from there. What
You
about
starting?
IDP wise?
I was just say defense. Who's the one linebacker that they have?
Um,
I
Miles
know they
Jack,
Miles Jack. That's it. I was thinking maybe
yeah,
him. I know the guy that
maybe
did
Josh
really good
Allen.
last year. They got rid of him. He's somewhere else. Oh, he's with the
I would
Browns, I
maybe
think.
put Josh Allen, defensive end,
Oh,
maybe.
defensive end Josh Allen. Yeah,
Uh, that's pretty much it.
that's not because Kyler Murray does get sacked quite a bit. It's probably
He
the only
does, but
fault with
that's
the
only because
Cardinals
he
right now.
he runs right into him. It's like,
Little turn. Oh,
oh yeah, yeah, pretty much. That's how it goes, man. Oh, I didn't see you there. So all right, so everyone from Cardinals, only a select few from Jacksonville. All right, so Miami and Las Vegas. Uh, Tua's gone. Jacoby Brissett is definitely not the Jacoby Brissett we're used to. He did pretty bad, uh, and I'm actually upset about how bad he did because I had Jason Sanders as my kicker, and they
yeah.
never got close enough for Jason Sanders, so he never had the opportunity to kick. So my kicker ended up having a big fat zero. Jalen Waddle, are you throwing him in?
No,
No, not even Jalen Waddle. All right, so definitely that's an out on Will Fuller uh
I
and
think maybe
anybody else.
Gaskins. That's about the only.
Okay, I wouldn't even honestly. I wouldn't even put him against that.
No,
With no against Las Vegas's defense with Max Crosby and KJ Wright is there now. Danielle Hunter is there. Yeah, I wouldn't even put. I would definitely try and maybe bench my Miami players. But then on the opposite side though, Miami's defense is pretty good too. So I wouldn't even know if I would put anybody from running back wise because they have Jerome Baker back there, and he's a pretty good linebacker in Miami. So running backs are definitely going to have a difficult time getting through. And then they have
you
who's
say
that
that,
rookie?
but Singletary ran all over him last week.
Singletary. Well, I mean, you could argue to put him in, but I mean, for me, I'm a little hesitant on it. I mean, definitely you're putting Waller in
Well,
because
who
it
do they
seems like
even
their
have?
whole
Who's their running back? Oh, it's Drake.
Drake this week.
Yeah.
Jacobs is wearing the red jersey, like I
Okay.
said earlier. So he's wearing the red jersey this week. Maybe he comes in. We don't know yet. So
We'll put
Darren Waller, you're
Waller.
throwing
I
in.
put Ruggs and Carr. Obviously, he's only
Okay. Okay.
5 million yards the first two games.
Right. Yeah. So we got the Jets and the Broncos in Denver. Any thoughts on that game?
Jets and the Broncos.
Yeah, Jets are going to Denver.
Start all Denver's defense.
Okay. All right. If you got him, you start him.
Yeah.
Okay. Offense on Broncos.
Ugh, that's a tough one. Maybe
Sutton.
Mel.
I look.
Maybe Melvin Gordon.
Okay. I like Sutton, man. And
Sutton.
I was telling people to throw Sutton in last week, but people were like, "Ah, no, I don't know." I'm like, "Okay, Jerry Judy's gone. Who's gonna be his number one? Sutton." And what happened? Sutton went off. I said to do. I said to put Sutton in, but nobody wanted to do it, and they regretted it. So it's all good. Yeah, definitely Sutton. I hope you put him in now. Um, do you put anybody on the Jets?
That's definitely not on offense.
Okay, I'll take the head nod as a
Yeah.
definitely
Oh, I said
no.
not on offense. You not hear me? You hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Oh,
The
okay.
nod was like no on
Yeah.
offense. Yeah, I know.
Maybe defense.
Defense, defense. Who you putting?
They still have C.J. Mosley at middle linebacker. I feel like he might have a good game.
Yeah, I think Franklin Myers might actually do good. I mean, he's been doing pretty good. The linebacker, DL, the defensive lineman there. Franklin Myers, I think will definitely maybe get a sack, maybe two. Uh, Teddy Bridgewater is a pocket guy-ish, so
Mm-hmm.
and it seems to me every single time I look over the TV, Teddy Bridgewater is on the ground. So uh, I think Franklin Myers gets a sack or two, maybe even three. You know what? I'll put that. I think Franklin Myers gets about 2 sacks at least minimum this week. We'll keep an eye on that. He's been on the waivers for the last 2 weeks, and I put him in the week one, and then my week two waivers he was kind of considered there, but I felt like there was other people more ahead of him. But
Well,
Franklin
if he gets
Myers,
30 sacks this week, he'll be number one again.
oh yeah, Franklin Myers for sure. Definitely take a look at out of the Jets. Uh, he was on the waiver wire last week for sure. And out of who I thought who should have been on waiver wire. So moving on to Seahawks and Minnesota. Who you got there? With knowing with the Cooks injury potentially, they sidelined him during practice today. Do you think he's okay? I think he'll be fine. Just something to monitor. But I think he plays.
No, I don't want him to play.
No.
I gotta play Steven.
Oh.
No Cook. Cook is out, Steven.
Even if Cook is gone, Alexander Madison has had opportunities multiple times, and he always fails us. Maybe this is the year. I don't feel comfortable with it. I still wouldn't roster him and put him in if Cook is gone, even if it is. It's definitely against Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks. I no. No way. No way. Those two are
Yeah.
a really good team of linebackers back there. And then you got Jamal Adams, who plays in the box every now and then. So he will get blown up. I don't think Madison is going to do anything at all, even if Cooks is gone. So,
But I think
I
they'll
don't.
pass all over him, though.
What's up?
I think the Vikings will pass all over the Seahawks, though.
I think so too. I think we see Osborne getting another run. JJ, I hope JJ gets in the end zone this week. We haven't seen really much of it. It's been basically Thielen. I think JJ got a touchdown last week, right, or something like that.
No.
Did he even get in? Has he been quiet the whole time? Maybe
No,
I'm thinking Thielen.
Osborne got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I know Osborne's been utilized a lot.
Yeah.
So good for him. Other than that, you're starting Nick Vigil.
Yeah.
You're starting Eric Wilson. Well, not Eric Wilson. Sorry. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it, right? So yeah, he did, as in JJ did. I thought he did. I'm not too sure. I can't.
Oh, he
I
did?
know.
Oh, maybe he did.
So
I guess he did.
What's up?
I said, I guess he did. Maybe I missed that one. I did miss part of the game, so.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. Tampa Bay and the Rams. Who you got there?
Tough one. I
You
mean, I
think Aaron
guess
Donald gets a sack in? I think Tom Brady will throw it up. I don't think Aaron Donald will get a sack in.
yeah, I don't think he
Tom
will.
Brady's too smart. I think he'll throw it out.
Not
Can
just
he get
that,
a
but
couple
he
QB
usually gets
hits?
the ball and he already knows where he's going.
Yeah. I think Aaron Donald gets a couple of QB hits in there, but I don't know if he gets a sack. I'm not too sure if he will or not, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not going to bench him obviously because it's Aaron Donald. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll blow up Rojo or Fournette a little bit, bang them up. But so it's interesting that the Buccaneers first week was Mike Evans, or no, it was Antonio Brown. Mike Evans didn't really do much. Week 2, Mike Evans got all the targets. AB didn't get much. The only consistent one was Godwin,
Gronk.
uh, Gronk. I guess the tilt is between AB and Evans. It's kind of hard to say who you're gonna put. Um, You got to be worried about Jalen Ramsey being back there. I've mentioned Fuller being back there, Taylor Rapp being back there. It's going to be difficult, but one of them will probably get open. I think it's going to be AB this week for sure. I
I'm
think
gonna go with whoever Jalen Ramsey isn't guarded.
right. That's what I'm saying. I think it
If
won't
they
be AB.
move
I
him
think it'll
around, then I think he's gonna focus on that number, and wherever he is, I'm going in the opposite direction.
yeah. I think Jalen Ramsey will probably be more than likely on Mike Evans this week. So we'll but that should be an interesting game. It's a very high-powered offense and defense on both sides of those teams. I think that one is either going to be a high-scoring game or a very low-scoring game, and it's going to come down to the kickers.
Mm-hmm.
So, regardless of the fact, I think both kickers on those teams should be started if you have them, right? Because I think it's either going to be a lot of points or it's going to be nothing but kicking. So, um,
We all know Tom Brady gives his kickers superpowers somehow. Doesn't matter who his kicker is. If you're on the team with Tom Brady, you're making clutch kicks.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we have Green Bay and San Francisco. It's going to be a cloudy game. It's in San Fran. San Fran's 2-0 versus the Green Bay 1-1. Obviously, you're going to put in Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, yes.
Devontae Adams, yes.
Adams, yes.
Tunyon, yes.
Tanyan, yes. Okay. So are we putting in our boy Campbell, linebacker? Why not? I think he did
I
pretty
think
good
so.
last week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Devondre Campbell. Um, so that's pretty much it. How I have on Green Bay. San Francisco is oh my gosh, Shanahan is just unpredictable.
I think the only one that's consistent is Dabu Samuel.
Debo, yeah.
Lead the league in receiving yards, so
That's pretty much it, right?
yeah.
You're not putting Jimmy G in. You're not putting
No.
any running back in because we don't even know who the running back is because it's going to switch or one of them's going to get banged up.
Well, I don't like this whole let's constantly take Jimmy G out for Trey Lance. And then Trey Lance gets like a random touchdown that could have been Jimmy G's.
yeah. I still
This hurts the fantasy value.
Kittle. Do you trust Kittle in this week?
I found this on the web. He hasn't even gotten 2 points in a game yet. In a PPR league. In a PPR league.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Do you think this might be the week that they use him a lot more?
I hope so.
I think Kittle might actually be a little bit more relevant in this game. They have better DBs in Green Bay than they do linebackers. So I think Kittle might actually be a factor here. Other than that, I don't think I'll start anybody. Obviously, you're starting Bosa on that side. Fred Warner. Is he even healthy right now, Fred Warner? I think he is, right?
Did he get hurt? I don't think he got hurt.
I think he's okay. Still hasn't done really much anything either. Other than that, I just it's hard to start any 49er right now unless it's Debo. I mean, Ayuk, I think he might actually play this week. Uh, the whole fiasco with him, I think he might actually be relevant this week. Hopefully, we'll see him get more snaps because a lot of Ayuk owners out there are a little worried. I still wouldn't drop him. Would you drop Ayuk?
No,
Would you drop Sermon?
no.
No. Okay. All right. Well, I
Well,
know
not
some of
dynasty league for sure not.
no dynasty. No, for sure. I'm talking about like redraft. Redraft. I think Sermon might be droppable. Ayuk, I would hold on.
Yeah, I legit freaked out because I went into sleeper and I just went into chat and I didn't realize what league I was in, and it just said Sermon was dropped, and I was like, "What the heck?" And then I was like, "Oh, I'm in the nerd huddle."
Redrafts. I
I
think.
was like, "Man, they gave up on him quick."
Well, redraft. I think. I
I
think
was like,
it's
"Oh,
easy
never
to.
mind, wrong
I
track."
think it's easy to say that he's droppable in redraft leagues because it seems to me. Okay, so he gets healthy. Okay, awesome. They're saying that Elijah Mitchell's going to start over him, and then you're going to have Jeff Wilson coming back here pretty soon. It looks like Sermon's not even. I don't know. Like the fact that they traded up for him, I don't know. Like it just seems very odd to me. Um, I think it's depending on how much of a believer you are in Sermon. I kind of lost it a little bit. I know there was more talent in redraft leagues out there than there was, so I think he's potentially droppable. If you want to save him, go ahead save him. If you're good on running backs, all right. So the last game Monday night, we have Philadelphia and Dallas. So this one is going to be a very interesting game. I am excited for this game. One, it's on a Monday night, so I think this game is going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I
I
was just
really
gonna
think
say, I think it's gonna be. I think it's either gonna be a shootout, or I think the Cowboys are gonna wipe the floor with the Eagles.
Yeah, one of those.
So
I
start
think
all your offensive guys,
on both
especially
sides of the ball.
especially for the Cowboys.
Okay. So, what about defensive sides?
While Mika Parsons is going back to linebacker, I would definitely go there.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs? Would you start Diggs?
Um, I would. Yeah,
I
Diggs
would
is a good
too.
option. I feel like Diggs is going to be covering. I mean, because they have Jalen Rager on one side and Devontae Smith on the other. Both equal talented receivers there. Jalen Hurts, I think, could be potentially top five or 10 QB this week. Depending on how much he's rushing. If he gets rushed, he's going to run to the opposite side and get a couple of yards here and there, and that adds up. So, and then the arm. I mean, he doesn't have a bad arm either. A lot of people are down on Jalen Hurts, and I think he's doing pretty good. I think a lot of people just don't see it yet. I think he's talented.
Well, I think he's talented, but I mean, after he went off week one, my only reaction was, let me see him go up against a real defense.
Right.
And then he did that in week two and looked terrible.
Yeah. So
The 49ers stuffed him.
yeah. So I think this is for sure like a verification of how well he's going to do good this. I mean, against those linebackers and see how well he does this week. And it's going to be a in division game in Dallas. So there's no weather really going to affect it because it's going to be inside the dome. So I think now here's the thing. I think Philadelphia actually has a defense. I think they actually have a defense. I think a lot of teams have been struggling against them, and people have not actually caught on yet. But I think they actually have a defense. They are not pushovers at all. So they could give the Cowboys a little roughness there. How do you feel about their defense?
Um,
Are you still not? I mean, I think they kind of are.
well, I
But
don't think they're bad. I think they are good. I think this will be their first real test, though.
you think so?
Yeah, because I mean, the 49ers didn't have any running backs, and I don't know, I'm still not 100% sold on their offense. And obviously the Falcons. I mean, they showed up against the Buccaneers, so I mean, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I just think that, and you're right, because week one they had Falcons, no running backs, and then we saw what happened last week with the Niners. So um, who's that guy? Alex Highsmith definitely is a must start at linebacker for sure, right? If
Hmm.
you have him in deeper leagues. So
I think
that's
so.
pretty much, yeah. So yeah, man, we hit every game. We pretty much are solid for sure starters who we're not putting in. Um, so yeah, it's going to be an exciting week. There's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to, and a lot of close matchups that I think will be happening. It's going to be a really good. So far, I've been excited for every single week that's been happening. I had an exciting week one. Week two wasn't as bad either. I mean, it ended pretty well with the Chiefs and Baltimore. So I hope that tonight we get a little bit something similar, but I seriously doubt it. Everyone is expecting the Carolina Panthers to just trample all over them. We might see a couple of backups come in from Carolina tonight. So uh, keep an eye on that for that. Maybe for future deep waivers for
Chuba
injuries or
Hubbard.
yeah, Chuba Hubbard might actually get some playing time tonight again. Um, so yeah. Anything else? Any last words before we head out? Just a quick rundown of each team.
No, I think we did a good job.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I hope we do. So, anyways, that's pretty much our dynasty lunch hour. Touching up on every game, and hopefully Saturday, we come on Saturday night. We hopefully it might be a little bit late. We'll see how that goes, but I know Sandy and her picks are going to be revealed in how well she did on Saturday from last week, and then she's going to do another episode of picks for that one. So, uh, Panthers or Pats D? Uh, Panthers, man. That's easy because Mills is starting tonight. He's a rookie. It's his first game. He didn't really do so much, like really anything hot in preseason. I think that the Panthers D is a safer bet tonight. What would you say, Mark?
No,
His
I
defense.
agree. I think if Tyrod had been playing, it would have been a little different. I
Uh
would
huh.
have had to be like, Tyrod put up points against Jacksonville. He put up points against Cleveland. But
Yeah.
with him out, and a short week for Mills too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Not
go
saying that
Panthers.
Mills isn't practicing, but just not
Yeah,
with
but it's
with the
just
ones.
you don't get the whole week.
Right. So I would
Because I
I'm
remember,
actually putting Panthers in some of my leagues. So I would definitely put Panthers in. That defense is nasty. They got Jeremy Chin, Shaq Thompson back there, Brian Burns. I mean, those are key elite guys in every single position, like in the deep zone and somewhere in the middle and right there in the box. So I would definitely throw in Panthers in there over the Patriots defense because Jameis Winston might throw all over them or Kamara might run all over them. You
hmm
never know which one you're going to get. But I feel safer with Panthers, so hopefully that helps you out. And let us know on Saturday how. Well, I guess we'll find out when. But I am going to be on that boat with Panthers with you. So I'm going to go with Panthers on that one. So
I'm gonna go with one that starts with a P.
get out of here. All right. Well, that's our Dynasty lunch hour. Jesus, man. Thanks for watching. We'll be here Saturday. Watch Sandy's picks on how well she did coming up this Saturday, and she didn't do too bad. So that was kind of a funny episode. Again, we'll be here Saturday late night. Catch that if you're up late in the East Coast and you're still up in bed, just come on and watch us. We'll be doing some start sit questions before Sunday morning. And I think we're going to do a little bit Sunday morning for about 20 minutes between 9:30 Sunday morning, just after the morning spike with the Nerd Huddle group that we're in with that network. So we'll do that 9:30 Pacific time. So
Yep.
wherever you're at, kind of take that into account that we're in Pacific time because we're here in Arizona. So, anyways, all right. Well, that's it, man. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, man.
Good.
Well,
Let's
all right. Well, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you're at. Again, we'll be here every Wednesday for sure. That's our main show, but we pop in every now and then. So I'll catch you later.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate.